In rural Philippines, there's a sound said to freeze your blood, a slow, flapping whack, 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 high above the trees. People say if it grows softer, the monster is actually getting closer. That creature is called the Wakwak. It's part bird, part vampire, and for generations, its haunted stories told around dim kerosene lamps and campfires. To understand the Wakwak is to step into the darker edge of Filipino folklore, where superstition, fear, and community warnings blend into one chilling legend. The name Wakwak comes from the onomatopoeic sound of its wings, whack, 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 beating through the night. In many Tagalog and Visayan communities, that sound is a direct warning of danger. Spanish-era records mention monsters that drink blood and snatch people, but Wakwak as a term is more rooted in local oral tradition than in written history. Elders pass the word down in bedtime stories and warnings, so the legend survives not in books, but in the way parents teach kids where and when it's safe to travel. Descriptions of the Wakwak vary, but several details repeat. It's often pictured as a huge bird with bat-like wings, claws sharp enough to rip flesh, and glowing red or yellow eyes. Some stories say it resembles a giant crow. Others describe it as a human-like figure with wings, almost like a corrupted angel. In many versions, it's associated with corpses and graveyards, feeding on the dead or finishing off the dying. That mix of bird, bat, and human blurs the line between animal threat and supernatural predator. In many tales, the Wakwak is a silent stalker until it chooses to reveal itself. It circles above lonely paths, waiting for someone walking alone at night. The flapping slows as it descends, and some say it can stretch its claws or tongue to grab a victim from a distance. Unlike Western vampires that seduce, the Wakwak attacks brutally. It rips open the chest and devours the heart or organs. Local belief says dogs howling or roosters crowing at strange hours can signal its presence, turning normal night sounds into signs of an invisible hunt. The Wakwak is often confused with two other Filipino creatures, the Manananggal and the Aswang. The Manananggal famously splits its upper body from its legs and grows wings to hunt, usually for fetuses or sleeping victims. Aswang is a broader term for shape-shifting ghouls and witches. Wakwak, in contrast, is usually not a human by day. It's more like a pure monster or a witch's pet. In some regions, people even say Wakwaks are just the winged form or servant of an Aswang, which explains why the names sometimes blur together in everyday conversation. Across the Philippines, the Wakwak changes shape with local beliefs. In some Visayan villages, it's said to be controlled by a sorcerer, sent out to hunt for fresh blood. In parts of Mindanao, people describe it as a huge, black bird that signals death in the community. In other areas, the sound Wakwak might refer to any unknown winged thing in the dark sky. The core idea stays the same, a flying, flesh-eating being that turns nighttime travel into a gamble between safety and something unspeakable waiting above. Folk remedies against the Wakwak overlap with broader anti-Aswang practices. Households hang garlic or place salt at windows and doors. Some carry religious items like rosaries or scapulars, believing faith can repel the creature. Others keep sharp objects, like bolos or knives, near the bed. There are also social defenses. People avoid walking alone at night, travel in groups, and pay attention when dogs bark or neighbors shout warnings. Whether or not the Wakwak is real, these habits create a safety net in communities with limited streetlights or emergency help. Stories of the Wakwak reveal what people fear most: sudden illness, unexplained deaths, and disappearing loved ones. In places where medical access is limited, a heart attack or stroke at night can be interpreted as a monster stealing a heart. Loud nocturnal birds, bats, or flying foxes become tied to the legend. Folklore offers a clear villain and a narrative when reality feels random. It also teaches caution. Don't wander alone. Respect curfews. Listen to community warnings. The Wakwak is both a monster and a message about survival. Even in cities full of smartphones and streetlights, the Wakwak endures in memes, horror films, and schoolyard dares. Modern storytellers remix it into comics and online creepypasta, but its core remains a warning about vulnerability at night. Understanding the Wakwak connects us to the anxieties of past generations, fears of isolation, darkness, and violent death, and shows how communities use stories to stay alert and united. Next time you hear wings beating in the dark, you'll know the legend behind the sound and the culture that created it. Hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome content like this.